Good morning, everybody. It's Tuesday, the 5th of May. Welcome to your terrific Tuesday workout. Let's see what we have on the board for you this morning. All right, so we've got one movement for you today. The focus today is on getting as much work out of that movement as possible. It's not so much about getting the heart rate going for the 3 to 5 sets that we've got going, or the 3 to 5 rounds that we have for it. There will be an option for a finish at the end, which will drive your heart rate up a bit. So, WOD number one that we're going to work on, we've got 1 minute of 20 single leg hip extensions. Right, so we're going to try and get as much work through that left side as possible. Then we do 1 minute of 20 hip extensions on the right side, as much work as possible on that right side. We're looking to get a nice strong burn. You get 2 minutes rest and you do 3 to 5 rounds. Once you've done 3 to 5 rounds of this, we can have an optional finisher. We're doing either Tabata lateral jump over, so laterally jumping over an object or a rope or something else, or we're going to do double unders if you've got double unders, but something that's going to really push up that heart rate for that 20 seconds of work, 10 seconds of rest. Okay, really simple workout today. Go back to having a look at what we're doing here. So that 1 minute of 20 single leg hip extensions, we've got a few scaling options. So our scaling options today for the single leg hip extensions is we can either keep it on a single leg hip extension. If you need to make it lighter or easier, we're going to drop those reps down. So we drop the reps down. Ideally, what I'm looking for is I'm looking for you to reach your maximum amount of work as possible in this 1 minute. Okay, so you may get to 30 seconds and you can't do any more reps. Maybe you only get to 15 reps on that single side, on that left side, and you're failing already. That's perfect. That's exactly where I want you to do. If you can go all the way through to 20 reps, okay, you may have to try and find a way of trying to make that harder. Either we're going to add some weight, okay, or we maybe increase your reps slightly. Rest slightly, second minute, do exactly the same thing on the opposite side. So 20 single leg reps, we're either going to have a look-see. We can either do a weighted hip extension. So if you want to scale the movement up, we're going to make it heavier, right? The alternate is to do a step up. We're going to do box step ups instead of doing leg extensions, which we'll show you, right? Your third option, okay, is to scale down. We're going to reduce the repetitions here to make it easier. And then your fourth is to decrease the intensity, right? Is also to increase your rest time if you need to increase your rest time. So let's have a look at our movements. So hip extension, what we're looking for. We're going to be over here, lying on your back. The big thing with the hip extension is to make sure that this is where the work is coming from. So my knees are going to be together, feet are together. I'm going to lift my opposite leg up into the air. This leg doesn't have to be straight. Ideally, if anything, this knee is slightly bent. This knee is directly above your hips. So your center of gravity is sitting here. The rib cage is connected, so I'm going to pull that rib cage down. I'm going to lift those toes slightly off the floor so I can drive through the heel. And I push from my hip, and I'm pressing up. Okay, so this is where the work is coming from. What you've got to be aware of is not to push downwards with the quadricep. If you push downwards, you're going to feel this quadricep's going to fire and the weight's going to come through the knee. You've got to try and get this work here in the hip. Press up, feel the glutes fire, hold, 3, 2, 1, roll down. Press up and hold, 3, 2, 1, roll down. Make sure that this lower back doesn't arch. So as you push up, make sure the back's not arching. Rib cage is connected, pull the rib cage down, 3. Push up and hold. 3, 2, 1, 4. Literally, you've got to get that pause to ensure that glute is firing. Roll down. 4, 5, 6. Okay, that's your hip extension. Every time, you've got to try and open this hip here as much as you can. The more tired you get, you're going to feel you're going to start, these hips are going to be dropping. Your work is to try and get that glute pressing upwards, these hips opening up the whole time. Once you've done 20 on your left, you're going to change, you do 20 on your right. If you can't quite get to 20 and you get to 10 and it's burning so bad you can't carry on, then stop, it's fine. 10 is okay. If you get to 15 and it's burning really bad and you can't do any more, then 15 is okay. If you can push through to get to 20, try push through, get to 20. That's where the strength work is today. 20 on the side. If you need to make this movement slightly heavier, yeah, you can grab either a dumbbell or a plate, something at home, okay? So to increase the intensity, if you're getting to 20 and it's not difficult enough, get a 5-liter water jug, put it on your hips, get a plate, get something else heavy, okay? Rest it so that it's not sitting right on your symphysis pubis, but also not right too much on your lower abdominals, but push it to lower hips. Hold it there, you're gonna press up, press, and roll down. 1, up, press, exhale, roll down. 2, try get 20 on a heavier plate if you can do that. Okay, so that's to increase your intensity. The way of decreasing this, like I said, is just to reduce your repetitions. So that's your weighted hip extension options. If you're not going to do hip extensions, you can do, okay, the partially loaded option today is actually to do weighted step-ups. And that weighted step-ups is what's going to get this work in the hips today. So your weighted step-ups, right, you start with an unloaded step-up to begin. Okay, same thing. The emphasis is to get this work for the hip. Press up. Slowly come down, up, 1, press up, slowly come down, 2, and your focus is glutes, hips, posterior chain firing. If that's too easy for 20 reps, okay, 20 reps is going to burn a lot, but try and make it heavier if you can. Add a bit of weight, you can either hold it there, either by your side like this, you can just hold it. Press up, slowly down, slowly down. One side or hold on the other side. Got 2 dumbbells, you hold 2 dumbbells. Okay, lateral step up. And we go sideways, up and down. If sideways is too difficult, you can do forwards as well. Press, step back down, press. So either weighted hip extensions or normal hip extensions or step ups or weighted step ups are your options for to do. Do 20 reps on the left, do 20 reps on the right, whatever movement you're going to choose, rest for 2 minutes. The 2 minutes is there to allow your hips and your glutes to recover enough so that you hit it hard again. Okay, and try and hit it hard, 3 to 5 rounds of doing that. If you've done this a lot, 5 rounds is going to be good. Your glutes will be nice and sore tomorrow. Right? If you haven't done this a lot, cut your repetitions down and cut your rounds down to maybe 3 or 4 rounds so that you can still walk tomorrow and go to the loo and get off the chair and walk around the house. Good. So that's the warm-up for today. Let's have a look, see, for those of you who need a little bit more warm-up briefing. Oh, no, not the warm-up briefing yet. We're going through the Tabata finisher yet. So the Tabata finisher, we've got 20 seconds of work. Okay, we haven't written it down. We've got 20 seconds of work with 10 seconds of rest. And we're going for 8 rounds in total of 4 minutes. So your Tabata lateral jump overs, you can get any object on the floor. We can even do a plate like this. Okay, and you want something either high enough or wide enough that's going to push your heart rate up. You want to have a bit of work in this. So it's 1, you can either do this, single legs, if you want to start. Ideally, that's probably going to be a little bit slow to push your heart rate up. So going 1, 2, 3, 4, and you're working for 20 seconds. The clock is set, rest. First round will probably be okay, heart rate's going to go up a bit. 10 seconds rest, and you go again for 20 seconds of work. 20 seconds, 2 seconds, 3 seconds. Second round, the heart rate's going to go up a little bit higher. 10 seconds rest. Third round, 20 seconds of work. Third round is like 10 seconds rest, and then fourth round, fifth round, sixth round. By the time you get to 8th round, you should be okay. If you're not doing that, then you got to work a bit harder. Okay, it's your opportunity. You've only got 4 minutes to push your heart rate up. So find something to push your heart rate up as hard as you can. If you've got double unders and you want to do double unders, do double unders. That is going to get your heart rate pressing. If you've got triple unders, do triple unders, even better. If you need to do single unders, do single unders, but you may find that that's not going to drive your heart rate up enough. Okay, so that's the workout. You've got your hip extensions, 3 to 5 rounds of your hip extensions or step-ups, all your different scaling options on the side here, okay, to make it more difficult. Scale up, scale down, scale down. If you need a bit more coaching around your warm-up briefing, I'll take you through that now. Okay guys, so your warm-up. So we've got 5 minutes to run, row, skip. If you're doing this in the morning, go out for a run, because you can. Come back in after 5 minutes or 10 minutes or 15 minutes, maybe 25 minutes run, maybe a 30-minute run. That's a good idea. Do that. Come back in when you're warm, get a drink of water, and you're going to go into your floor sequence here. So our floor sequence is made up of 4 different movements. We've got a single leg lift, okay, which we're going to show you. We've got some hip extensions, we've got some supermans, we've got some break dances. So it's not our normal movements that we would normally call this. It's a slight variation in movement. So I'm going to take you through each of those. Okay, we do have a squat better project, round number 5 today. And then we've got a little bit of workout prep, but not too much. So let's go to take you through the floor sequence. So number one, we're doing a single leg lift. If you want to use a mat, you can use a mat. Okay, we're going to work on the side. And all we're going to do is like a push back, we're going to lift one leg up, and a push back, one, push back, two, try and keep that left leg straight, push back on the right side. So I'm locking out through my arms. I'm trying to lift this right leg up into the air as high as I can. 3, push back, 4, push back, 5. And I'm going to change. Push back, 1, push back. In this position, what I'm feeling is a nice stretch down my hamstrings, down my back, behind my knee, arms locked out, stretch back, 4, push back, 5. Do a second round. 5 on the left, 5 on the right. So you're doing 5 left, 5 right. Second round, 5 left, 5 right. Pushing back, locking those arms out as far as you can. Second one. So your hip extensions, what we're looking for, same as what we're doing for the workout. We're just going to get those glutes firing a little bit. Make sure you're comfortable and know what you're doing for the movement. Knees to the middle of the body. Press up, push, hold, 3, 2, 1, and roll it down. Push up, 3, 2, 1. Roll back down. You're doing 5 on the left, 5 on the right. Get that time at the top of the movement to squeeze that glute. 3, 2, 1. That's what's going to get this firing. That's what's going to help you through the workout. Okay, so that's going to be your hip extensions. We're going to go into Superman. So I'm going to show you the first progression. First progression, we're going to do a kneeling swimming. So in this position, hands over the shoulders. No, shoulders over the hands. All right, knees directly underneath the hips, tummy pulled in. So I don't want to see this low back arching. You're pushing through the floor, chin pulled up and in. So you take your right arm and your left leg. You're going to hold, okay, don't let the body turn, keep the hips square, roll back down. Lift up and hold, stomach tight, exhale back down. Make sure you're pulling this tummy up and in so the work is holding in the rib cage and the stomach tight and there's not too much work in that lower back. Straight leg, lock the knee, and down. So that's your first progression, kneeling swimming. Okay. If you need to just do the legs or just do the arms, you can do that. Okay. But make sure you're keeping that something nice and tight. Then the challenge, Superman style, push-up position, stomach tight. You're going to bring the one knee in. You're going to bring the opposite elbow to knee. Straight leg up. Hold. 1. Pull. Hold. 2. Pull. Hold. 3. Pull. Hold. 4. And we're doing 5 reps in total. Other side. Arm out. Knee comes in. Push out. Hold. 1. Keep the knee to the middle of the body. Try not to let this leg go out the side here. Try and keep the leg to the middle. Straight body. 2. Hold. Whoop. Whoop. 3. 5 reps. And then do 5 on the left, 5 on the right. Second round, 5 on the left, 5 on the right. That's your Superman, knee, elbows in and out. Either in a kneeling position, first position, to make it a little bit more tasty and spicy, Superman position in a plank position. Then the last one, number 4, is a break dance. See how this is going to work. If you can do this, great. If you can't, I'm going to show you an option afterwards. And we're just doing a nice little break dance around the floor. Bum lift up, and we're going to walk through. He comes round, come through, on the shoulders, around, come through, and spin on your back. Or don't. And then you're going to change direction. Round, through. I think I'm doing this wrong now. Round. No, not this way. Here we go. Walk your feet around. Just do one direction if your brain doesn't allow you. And spin on your back. Okay, that's the break dances. But bringing the shoulder around can be a little bit uncomfortable in the shoulder joints. So your option, push back to the shoulders, shoulder taps in that overhead position. If you can't do shoulder taps, just push back and forward, push back and forward, or just hold a plank position. Do shoulder taps, or just hold your plank position. Okay, that's your break dance. That's your floor sequence warm-up. Whew. Now we're going to your squat better project. Okay guys, so project squat better, the squat better project number 5. We've got 3 different movements for you now. So we're going to do First one, we're going to do 20 seconds in a squat hold. We're going to get right down to the bottom. You're going to get as deep as you can, push his knees up and back straight, chest up, stomach tight, weight on the heels. And then we're going to rest for 10 seconds. We're going to hold for 20 seconds, rest for 10 seconds, hold for 20 seconds, rest for 10 seconds. We're only doing 4 rounds. Okay, make it work. Second one, we're going to do a jiu-jitsu drill, 20 seconds of work, 10 seconds of rest, 4 rounds of that. And then the last one, we do 20 seconds of air squats, 10-second hold at the bottom. Okay, 4 rounds. Gonna get spicy. So let's have a look what it looks like. First one, we're going to get down to squat hold, 20 seconds, 3, 2, 1, and start the clock. Back straight, chest up, so hold, arms out preferably, sit nice and deep. 5 seconds. Shoulders back, chest up. And as you're sitting there, trying to get your bum down towards your heels, push those knees up and some more. If you need to bring your elbows in a bit, it's fine. But try and use the strength in your hips and your torso to keep that body upright, no round backs. Okay, and then you're gonna rest. 10 seconds, hips from side to side. Second round, squat, yep. And you're gonna hold for 20 seconds at the bottom of the squat, 10 seconds rest, 4 rounds in total. Okay, so that's your first drill number 1. The second drill is a jiu-jitsu drill. All right, so I'll show you the easy way of doing it. For many of us, the jiu-jitsu drill is going to be a little bit tough. You're going to start either on the floor or the mat. You're going to start with the knee out the side. Okay? The idea is to try and keep your body as upright as possible. If you need to use your hands, first progression, you're going to use your hands, come across, come back up into a sitting position. You're going to feel the stretch in the hips here, maybe inside the groin a little bit, maybe outside the hip here. Use your hands if you need to. Okay, your feet are shoulder width apart, and you're bringing this knee to the heel. Sit upright, inside the hip here, so there's some internal rotation in this hip here. This glute is stretching, this glute here is stretching. And you're going to go side for side. You may even want to do this just for your first set, or just to see, as you experiment with the movement, to see how you can do this. Your second one is to not use your hands as you move from side to side. So instead of leaning back to change, you're going to try and keep your hands off the floor, keep your body upright, press, turn, and then lean forward into the hips, keep the body upright, press, turn. For those of you that are really tight in the hip, this will be really difficult. Okay, for some of you, you're very mobile, not difficult at all. Aside. The third one is to come out of this position into a kneeling position. From there, press up, and I don't know how to do it. Turn aside, and press up, reach to the middle, and to the side, and press up to the middle. Foot comes through, or through, to the side. Just make sure your knees are comfortable. It's not the most comfortable thing, but if you can do it, then great. If you can't do it, stick with the easy one. Hold, and use that stretch to get that rotation inside the hips. Okay, it gets you moving. That's drill number 2. 20 seconds of work, so it's 20 seconds of drills, moving, 10 seconds rest, 20 seconds of drills. Try and advance the drills if you can as you go. The third one is 20 seconds of air squats, and then your rest time is at the bottom in the pocket, as deep as you can. So this one's going to be a little bit more spicy. So 3, 2, 1, go. Air squats, hip, and you're moving the hips. You've done 20 seconds, 10 seconds rest, and you're resting. Not so bad the first round. And 20 seconds of work. Air squatting. Back straight, chest up, knees up. And 10 seconds of rest. And you hold for 10 seconds rest. And 20 seconds of work. 4 rounds in total. That is your project squat better for today. Number 5. Remember, we're looking for quality, not quantity. We're not looking for a huge amount of reps. We're not looking for you to do it quickly. Do it slowly, do it properly, focus on getting better squats. That's the whole point of the project. All right, guys, that is your squat program for the day. Let's look at what you need to do for your prep work. So if you're going to be using dumbbells, okay, or a barbell, if you're doing the fully loaded or the partially loaded today, we're doing step-ups with a weighted step-up, work up to weight. Start an empty step-up, work up your weight, work up to whatever weight you can use for the workout. If you're doing hip extensions, lying on the floor, test your hip extensions, do like between 10 and 15 reps of each movement, make sure you're nice and warm. If you need to add on some weight, add on some weight. If you need to scale down, scale down. Decide on how many reps you're going to do for every round, or what weight you're going to use. Okay, and then if you need to increase your rest time, you can increase your rest time. The reason you want to increase your rest time is you may be able to get all 20 reps in that minute, which is great. That's what we want. But you may find that you need slightly longer rest time here. So give yourself 2.5 minutes, give yourself up to 3 minutes if you need to, so that you can hit the second round and third round and fourth round with that full 20 reps again. Okay, that would be better than scaling your reps down. All right, everybody. That's the 5th of May, Tuesday. Have an awesome day today. It's going to be great. And your glutes are going to love you tomorrow.